Your taste is being shaped while you feel in control. In the next minutes, you will learn how algorithms overload your mind, how to spot the noise, and how to use simple mental filters to choose faster, spend smarter, and protect your personal taste. Imagine Emma opening a streaming app after a long day. She wants something simple, one good movie, a quiet evening, maybe a little comfort. But the screen does not give her peace. It gives her rows, rankings, trailers, percentages because you watch top today, hidden gem recommended for you. 10 minutes pass, then 20. Her food gets cold. The strange part is that she has more options than ever, but less certainty than before. This is the first hidden cost of algorithmic life. Choice overload disguised as personalization. Your brain was not built to compare endless possibilities with perfect accuracy. When too many options appear, the mind starts protecting itself. It delays. It searches for more information. It imagines regret. What if the next option is better? What if this one wastes my time? What if everyone else is choosing something smarter? The practical solution begins with a small rule. Decide the category before the algorithm decides the category for you. Before opening the app, ask, what experience do I want? Relaxing, funny, educational, inspiring, fast, cheap, useful, beautiful. This tiny question turns chaos into a filter. You're no longer scanning everything. You're looking for one type of value. The advantage is emotional calm. You stop treating every choice like a test of your identity. In daily life, this can appear when buying headphones, choosing a restaurant, picking a course, or deciding what video to watch next. Instead of asking, what is the best option? Ask, what is best for the moment I am actually in? That difference saves energy, time, and often money. But choosing the category is only the first layer. Because even when you know what you want, algorithms are very good at making other people's desires feel like your own. Picture Daniel scrolling through short videos during a coffee break. He was not planning to buy anything. Then he sees the same desk lamp in 3 different videos. One creator calls it life-changing. Another says it makes your room look expensive. A third shows it in a perfect night routine. By the end of the break, Daniel does not feel advertised to. He feels as if he discovered a personal need. This is how trend pressure works. It does not always shout by this. It whispers, people like you are moving toward this. The brain is deeply social. When something appears repeatedly, surrounded by approval, it starts to feel safer, more familiar, and more desirable. Psychologists call part of this the mere exposure effect. Repeated contact can increase preference. Online, this effect becomes stronger because repetition is wrapped in social proof. The application is simple and powerful. Separate exposure from desire. When you want something because you have seen it many times, pause and ask, did I want this before it appeared everywhere? If the answer is no, the desire may not be fake, but it may be borrowed. Give it space before you pay for it. This gives you a financial and psychological advantage. You become harder to rush, harder to manipulate, and more connected to your real needs. In everyday life, use a 24-hour waiting rule for trend-based purchases. Save the product, close the app, and return later. If it still solves a real problem tomorrow, consider it. If the desire fades, you did not lose the product. You recovered your attention. And yet, even resisting trends is not enough. Because the algorithm does not only shape what you buy, it can slowly shape what you believe you like. Think of Sophia, who once loved discovering strange music on her own. One day, she listens to a calm playlist while working. The platform notices. Soon, every recommendation becomes soft, safe, predictable. At first, she enjoys it. Then something subtle happens. Her taste becomes narrower, not because she chose a smaller world, but because the system learned one version of her and kept feeding it back. This is the comfort trap of personalization. Algorithms are designed to reduce friction, and that can be useful. But your personality is not a fixed playlist. Your taste changes with mood, age, goals, seasons, memories, and curiosity. When a recommendation system overlearns you, it may protect you from boredom, but also from discovery. The practical tool here is the taste audit. Once a week, ask yourself, What have I been choosing because I truly enjoy it? And what have I been choosing because it keeps appearing? Then intentionally add one opposite choice. If you always watch productivity content, watch art. If you always listen to calm music, try something energetic. If every article confirms your opinion, read one thoughtful perspective from the other side. The advantage is personal freedom. You regain the ability to surprise yourself. This matters in entertainment, but also in career decisions, relationships, creativity, and business. A professional who only consumes what the algorithm already approves may become efficient, but predictable. A person who protects curiosity becomes more original. In daily life, this can be as small as searching directly instead of clicking only recommendations. Type what you actually want. Choose one book because it caught your eye, not because it was pushed. Ask a friend for a suggestion instead of asking the feed. These little acts remind your mind that taste is something you build, not something a machine simply calculates. But there is a deeper problem. Even when you know your taste, your brain still wants to avoid regret. And regret is one of the strongest forces behind slow decisions. Imagine Marcus trying to choose a new phone. He compares cameras, batteries, prices, reviews, comments, discount alerts, expert rankings, and user complaints. At first, research helps him. Then it becomes a maze. Every answer creates another question. He is no longer choosing a phone. He is trying to guarantee a future without disappointment. This is the psychology of maximizing. A maximizer tries to find the absolute best option. A satisficer looks for an option that meets clear standards and then stops. Maximizing feels responsible, but in a world of endless information, it can become exhausting. The hidden pain is that the more you compare, the more you imagine the option you did not choose. The practical solution is to create a good enough standard before research begins. For example, I need a phone with a good camera, a battery that lasts all day, and a price under my limit. Once an option meets the standard, you're allowed to choose. Not because it is perfect, but because it fits the life you actually live. The advantage is speed with confidence. You stop confusing more data with better judgment. This can help with online shopping, choosing software, planning trips, hiring freelancers, selecting courses, or even deciding what tasks to do first at work. Clear standards protect you from infinite comparison. A simple everyday example. Before reading reviews, write 3 non-negotiables. After reading reviews, do not add 10 new ones unless they reveal a real risk. Many people become more confused because they let strangers' priorities replace their own. Someone online may hate a product because it lacks a feature you will never use. Their disappointment does not need to become your hesitation. But standards alone still need one more skill: knowing when your emotions are being used to accelerate the decision. Consider Lily opening an online store. She sees only 2 left. Sale ends in 12 minutes. People are viewing this right now. Her body reacts before her logic does. A little urgency appears in her chest. She tells herself she is making a smart move, but the real engine is fear of missing out. This is scarcity pressure. The brain values things more when they seem limited, especially when the limit is connected to time or social competition. Sometimes scarcity is real. Many times, it is simply a decision trigger. In algorithmic environments, urgency can be personalized, timed, and repeated until it feels natural. The practical tool is the calm test. When urgency appears, ask, would I still want this if there were plenty available and no countdown? This question removes the emotional costume from the object. If the value remains, good. If the desire collapses, you are reacting to pressure, not preference. The advantage is self-control without feeling deprived. You are not telling yourself, never buy. You are saying, I will buy from clarity, not panic. That creates a calmer relationship with money. It also helps with professional decisions. Not every opportunity marked urgent is aligned with your goals. Not every popular tool is necessary. Not every fast trend deserves your energy. In daily life, this can protect you from impulsive courses, gadgets, subscriptions, clothes, apps, and limited offers. Put urgent choices into 2 groups: reversible and irreversible. If a choice is cheap, useful, and reversible, decide quickly. If it is expensive, emotional, or long-term, slow down. The goal is not to become slow. The goal is to match the speed of the decision to the size of the consequence. And this leads to the final advantage: building a personal decision system so the world does not decide your standards for you. Imagine Noah, a team leader, watching his coworkers struggle with too many dashboards, tools, updates, and strategies. Everyone is busy. Everyone has information, but very few people have clarity. In one meeting, instead of adding more options, Noah asks 3 questions. What are we trying to solve? What matters most? What can we ignore for now? The room becomes quieter, not because the problem vanished, but because the noise lost power. This is where decision-making becomes a competitive skill. In a world overflowing with options, the person who can simplify becomes valuable. People do not only need more information, they need someone who can organize attention. This applies to leadership, marketing, negotiation, education, content creation, and personal life. The practical system is called the 3-filter choice. Before making an important decision, pass it through 3 filters: purpose, cost, and signal. Purpose asks, what am I really trying to achieve? Cost asks, what will this take for my time, money, energy, or focus? Signal asks, is this choice coming from my values or from pressure, fear, comparison, or repetition? The advantage is clarity that travels with you. You can use it before buying, accepting work, choosing content, replying to messages, setting goals, or changing direction. It turns decision-making from an emotional storm into a calm sequence. Purpose, cost, signal. 3 questions that help your mind breathe. A simple everyday example. You see a new AI tool promising to transform your productivity. Purpose, do I have a specific problem it solves? Cost, will it require money, learning time, and another subscription to manage? Signal, am I interested because it fits my workflow or because everyone is talking about it? In less than a minute, you can feel the choice become clearer. The surprising truth is that better decisions do not always come from thinking harder. Often, they come from removing what should never have been part of the decision in the first place. The algorithm gives you options. Culture gives you trends. Ads give you urgency. Other people give you opinions. But your mind becomes stronger when it remembers how to ask, what actually matters here? The art of choosing in chaos is not about rejecting technology. It is about using technology without surrendering your inner compass. Recommendations can help you discover. Reviews can protect you from mistakes. Trends can reveal what people care about. But none of them should become the owner of your attention. When you learn to name the category before choosing, separate exposure from desire, audit your taste, set good enough standards, test urgency, and use personal filters, you gain something rare: calm speed. You decide faster not because you are careless, but because you are clearer. You consume less from pressure and more from intention. You protect your money, your time, your curiosity, and your sense of self. And maybe the deepest shift is this: every choice becomes a small vote for the person you are becoming. The movie you watch, the product you buy, the idea you repeat, the tool you adopt, the trend you ignore, the recommendation you question. Each one trains your mind either to follow noise or to recognize signal. So the next time an app, store, feed, or platform gives you endless perfect options, pause for a moment. Not with fear, with quiet confidence. Ask what you want the choice to do for your life. Ask what pressure is present. Ask what would still matter if nobody was watching, ranking, recommending, or rushing you. That pause may look small from the outside, but inside the mind, it is powerful. It is the moment you stop being carried by the current and start choosing your direction. If this gave you a useful way to think about your own decisions, leave a like, subscribe to Secrets of the Mind, and share your answer in the comments. What do you feel the most algorithmic choice fatigue today? Shopping, social media, entertainment, work tools, or something else?